Hey everybody, it's Heather Nichols here. And today I wanted to kind of share a little story with you that hopefully kind of demonstrates how it works to include, what happens actually when we include our bodies in our businesses and in what we create. And this is like kind of a topic that it might be something you've never considered. Or maybe it is something that you've looked at. And for me, it's a universe that is endless. And I have a class that I'm developing right now that I'm going to start facilitating called Your Body as Your Business Partner. And whenever I facilitate a class, it starts facilitating me from the get-go. And that has really been what's been happening with this class and my body really showing me how it can be my business partner, how it can actually take the lead in the creation of my business by showing me energies and choices and nuances of things that I haven't considered before. So the story goes like this. I've been playing with this new movement practice called Bowspring, new to me, and I've mentioned it in various places on my podcast and things like that. And if you haven't heard of it, no worries. You can check it out at bowspring.com. There's a lot of different great stuff on YouTube about it. And I'll be doing some things as well with it. But basically, Bowspring is this amazing movement that creates this dynamic expansion in our bodies on all fronts, like on all levels, multi-directional expansion and multi-directional strengthening at the same time. So there's this universal tone that gets created in the body as the body expands that is like nothing I've ever done before. It's based on more of the natural curves of the body. And so I've been a mover my whole life. I've facilitated movement, done lots of different things, a lot of different athletic things. And I've been really diving into Bowspring. And one of the things lately that I've been doing is doing some quite challenging Bowspring practices. And I've been learning some new things and just applying it and really committed to the changes that I've been seeing it create in my body, because it's been really fast and amazing how much stronger I'm getting. And so, and one of the things that Bowspring does is it's massively expansive. And so it's like this deep, deep strength that occurs simultaneously with this huge expansion. And so I've been doing intense practices every day. And today I was taking a class, and I was online, and my body was like, okay, just hold on a second. It was like, I just need to curl into a little ball right now. And in Bowspring, we never curl into a ball. You don't close down the front of your body when you're doing this practice. It's very opening you don't close any part of your body down. So it can be very confronting, and it's very much like a mind body practice, because it's working on all levels. And I was, I could feel this sense of really wanting to, just turn everything inward. And I was like, and my body started just downloading all this information to me. And it was there's expansion comes also with, sometimes we just need to get quiet with ourselves, And one of the things that we do a lot is we expand in our lives energetically, with our businesses, whatever it may be. And then a lot of times we will kind of do this thing where we contract, we create something unconsciously to contract, to kind of sabotage ourselves, or whatever you want to call it. And what I realized today, and one of the things my body was being really clear about, is that this is, it's part of it. And I don't mean that in a way of in spiritual, kind of more spiritual circles, people talk about, you've got to have the expansion and then the contraction. And that's never really resonated, that you have to contract. But what I realized today, what I got a sense of was, I don't have to, like if I turn my attention inward when it's being asked for, it can support the expansion in a really dynamic way without having to contract myself away from it. And so my body was like, just like, there's been a lot of, now can we have some time to just gather in and tend to like that super sweet, vulnerable inner world, And it was like, yeah, I could do that, body, And so toward the end of the class, I kind of did a little bit more of my own thing and just toned it down a little bit, and then was like, what do I require today? And it was kind of more like, okay, let's just tend to some things here, But it was such a cool experience for me, because I realized if we don't catch that moment where that tending to the inner world, maybe taking some free time for ourselves, going and being in nature or whatever it may be. Like last night I watched a movie, which I don't do a whole lot because sometimes I'd rather just work and create and play. But if we're present enough to notice those moments where, you know what, right now a little inward is required. We don't have to create a big contractive experience to take ourselves out of the momentum of creation. We can actually just give that to ourselves as a gift and acknowledge that it's part of the creative process and allow it, And it didn't take very long. Like I just gave myself the space of that, the energy of that. I gave my body the space of that. And then it was like, I could start to play in a creative way. And the creation juices started bubbling again. And that was just over the course of maybe a couple hours. But I don't have to create a big drama around it, to give myself what it is that I know and my body knows that I require. So I hope that contributes to you in some way. Because one of the things that I work with people a lot on, it comes up a lot, is this place where they sabotage themselves. They take themselves out. They cut themselves off at the knees, They're like soaring, and then all of a sudden they crash. And I just wonder what happens right before the crash, what awareness we could have of what we require, what our bodies require, what our businesses require, because our businesses require that as well, the space, not the constant, creation. But if we could be present enough to know when that shows up at the moment that it does and go, now's the time for some, to turn a little inward and have some rest and relaxation and inward space, not checking out, but attentive inward space. I just wonder if that would be sort of like a crash prevention that could really facilitate creation to keep moving. So I'm excited to play with it. Let me know how that lands for you, if if it resonates. And thank you so much for being here. And, I always forget to say this with my videos, but if you like this video, if it's a contribution to you and you'd be willing to share it, subscribe, all the things that helps the algorithm, show it to more people. That would be amazing, because these are just conversations I would like the world to have. So thank you for you.